And she told them her situation and why she didn't want people on her property, but she knows she need help. So he said, I will come out as a friend and I will walk around and see what I can find. And that's what he did. She said that this creature had to stand 8 to 9 feet tall, massive shoulders, a head that was bigger than a bear, pointed ears, long arms with huge hands with claws that looked like talons, with the canine legs. She said this thing was cut up, it was just muscular. So now, that was her encounter. And she said she did wind up, after a few more months, didn't have nothing else out of this thing. Maybe it left the area or went somewhere else to bother somebody else. That's what she said, like as of a joke though. But she said she didn't have no more trouble after that. Now, as you all know, I'm going to try to keep pushing these encounters to y'all every chance that I get. That was the first one. So I'm going to give y'all another one. So without further ado, let's jump right into this encounter. Now this encounter right here, it comes from a trucker. And he said he go to state, dropping his loads off. He said one day, after leaving from dropping the load off, he driving to go to his next location. And as he driving to go to his next location, he decided to stop and pull over on the side of the road. So that's what he did, to get some rest. He said as he was sitting there, he noticed something in his driver's side mirror at the back of his truck. Now mind you, he say these roads is black, these roads is dark, there's no lights. He said he noticed something at the back of his truck from out the driver's side mirror. And he see a set of yellow eyes. He say, but they too high off the ground. So he's saying, what the is that? So he looking, he say, you gotta be kidding me. So he looking. He said, and as he looking, he could see these eyes starting to come closer to him, like it's walking up towards that driver's side mirror. And as these eyes starts to get closer, he reaches for his gun. Sorry, carry a .357. He reaches for his gun. That's when the eyes stop. When the eyes stop, he say, because it's so dark out there that you can't see nothing. He say when these eyes stop, he hear a growl coming from just a few feet away from his driver's side window. He hear a growl. He said he don't know he said he know it's not no bear. He said because whatever this thing was, it was walking. And it's still standing up bipedal. He hear this growl. He got his gun in his hand. He's still watching those bright yellow eyes. After that growl, he said that's when these eyes went down low. He said they went down low and they shoot past, straight past like in the front. That's when he turns on them bright lights. And when he turns on them bright lights, he said that's when he saw what he thought was a monster, some type of creature, something that was created in a lab. Something that was created in a lab. He said once he hit them lights, he said this thing comes back up on two legs. And when it comes back up on two legs, he said it let out this god awful sound that shook him to his core. And it hit the top of his truck. Boom! He said it hit it with what he said was a hand. And then it walked over to the passenger side. When it walked over to the passenger side, it stood right by the passenger window. And he said that this thing looked right in at him. He said that's how tall and how muscular this beast was. It looks at him through the window. He said this thing had a long snout, way wider and broader than anything he ever seen. Those bright yellow eyes, those pointed ears, and these massive shoulders. Said this thing had shoulders. This thing had a body like a human. That's what he said. Now mind you, as this creature watching him, it fumbles with the door. It tries to open his door of his rig, but it was locked. It couldn't. He said that's when this creature walked back towards the back of the truck. And when it get down there, he said, all he heard next was boom, something landing on the top of his rig and started to walk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He said this thing was heavy. He said this thing had to weigh a lot. He said after walking back and forth for a few minutes, it jumps off again to the side, the driver's side, and it's standing like in the medium strip of the road. But he could still see this massive creature just standing there staring at him. He said that's when he noticed lights coming off in the distance. And it's coming towards him. And as these lights coming towards him, He said this creature turned and it looks. He said when it do that, it take one leap, boom, and takes off into the tree line. When that vehicle gets up there, it stops. He rolls down his window. Person rolls down their window. He said, buddy, you all right? Are you okay? He said, yeah, I'm okay. He said, I don't know, but I know you should have seen it too. He said, I just seen something in the middle of the road, something real dark. But I know it wasn't a human because I seen this thing just jump. He said, yeah, I don't know what it was either, but it was something. I did see it. He said, you need to get away from here, buddy, because I never seen nothing like that, and I don't know what that was. So he said, I'm getting ready to leave now. So passenger went on his way. My eyewitness said he went on and left. He said he wasn't going to tell nobody this at first. He said, but it was eating him up inside, and he had to get it out. He said that this thing had to stand 9 to 10 feet tall. That's how big he said this creature was. 9 to 10 feet tall. Massive head, pointed ears, broad shoulders, upper body like a human, and the canine legs. Said this thing was just massive. He said, but he finally opened up, was going through channels on YouTube, and said he came across me through a friend. And I'm blessed and I'm grateful that he contacted me. So that's his encounter. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this, and I'll see y'all on the next True Dugman Encounters. Let's get it.